started.
We started?
We started.
Alright. I'll meet you in Ralgar's Reach.
How did you know that we had a... How did we know we had a letter from Marinbald or whoever?
No, I just I saw the blue quest.
Yes. I was going to, roleplay MSQ, get to the office, we have important business in Ralgar's Reach. A letter, everything. And now...
Well, in our downtime, I was working on stuff for the Twin Adders, so I got told of the stuff first.
Ah. I see. All I was doing is botany work and practicing with my new everything.
Ooh. Twin swords.
Without something to attack, I can't even do the combo properly. So sad. So, how has everyone been in the last week?
Been alright.
The Great Thorn family reunion is still ongoing. So, we're without Albrecht. But alas, a first. Definitely not. Lise waits for no Swede. Lise, what do you need? What do you want? Arenvald's adventure. I need to turn this up.
Come to see how we're getting on?
Yeah.
We've made good progress since we took back Mhigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
Hey, you should talk with the Satana and Ulda. She had this weird idea about the public voting. Kind of ended with her attempted assassination, but maybe you can do it.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future.
Or, you could, become a king, then just call it something else.
You know what? Do what you will do, just please don't make me attend the meetings.
But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches.
Yay! Just as long as I don't have to listen.
The reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you. But don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me?
Sure.
I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure? After all, we were adventurers before we were scions, were we not?
Okay, you got my interest.
After routing the Imperials and liberating El Mhigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots? So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Sure, as long as my roots involve a serial killer killing mages and doing like secret government work for the Sultana, but yeah, sure. Show me what your roots are involved.
I'd say my roots are more of mining until I ended up at Ul'dah.
God, I just pulled the like Sadu grin. I just did the Sadu grin.
I'm just wondering why we're dragging Alphino in this.
Because we can.
Fair enough.
It's not doing my face. Alright then, let's go find Master Levelier. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetherite. We'll be along shortly. I'll see you there. No, I have to ride my own mount because Albrecht isn't here with a two-seater. And I run it right into the water and break it. It's okay, I have another backup. This is my move.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to collect some PvP rewards.
This is me right now. My mood. Having to drive myself around. Hi, Halabali. Oh, we're just waiting on Alphino, I guess. Greetings, Garbo. 'Twould seem that they couldn't afford to pay my voice actor for this scene. We are to accompany our involved in some manner of escapade. Have you an idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please.
Aww.
Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Al Mhigo was still a monarchy, and Theodric sat on the throne. A uniquely brutal despot by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Rauger's Reach being burned to the ground. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to the death became the property of the king, and it said these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction our adventures to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty? You assume correctly. And would I also be correct in assuming this legend is widely known? Others must surely have gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course, we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Al Mhigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But after scouring every room from dusk till dawn, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. what self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine the three of us delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. As long as we get paid, we're in on it.
Is this gonna have political repercussions?
Everything has political repercussions. Ooh, new emotes. Best quest reward ever.
Put him up! Put him up! Why are you getting up on me?
Cheating! Ha!
Why'd you do that? Because those are expensive.
Oh, that's the best glam switch I've seen. Oh. Oh. And I mean, why wouldn't I do that? If anyone can find that treasure, it's us. But even if we don't, the adventure will be rewarded by Ryan. I need to turn off my chat sensor for a moment so people can see. I wink at Ura. Ura slaps me, and Halabali silently endures our bullshit. The darkness below. The news of Doma and Alamigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the Imperial province of Dalmasca has recently risen up in rebellion. Which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Ehrenwald, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Dalmasca is where we went in the Alliance raid, isn't it?
Did we?
Yeah, we got them going there, isn't it? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunter stared, knows about the palace isn't likely to get us anywhere. So we'll probably need to ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Yes. I see. In that case, I'll pay a visit to the Allied Archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to be recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Fjordrik's stay. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you may be looking for people who've seen 40 summers or more. Anything I can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Arnvald, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks while Gobo makes the rounds in the Alamigan quarter. And here I was thinking I was party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gilbert's Gate. Aww. This isn't good. I just have to fix it, I think. Come back here! Oh no! Run away!
Come back here!
Bum, bum. Well, what happens if I do this to Halabali? Halabali's clothes are made of sterner stuff. Greetings, middle-aged Highlander. Tell us what you can tell about the Mad King's treasure. The palace? No, I know, not me, lass. Surely you heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions in the divine audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crowd was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say, I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. Huh? How about you, mature maid? How are you a maid? You're gorgeous. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see his royal majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered. After a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Well. Run! Faster! A retired Rogadin. Hey there, buddy. How's retirement treating ya? Yeah, I once served the pleasure of King Thordric. Lived to tell the tale. One of the proudest gods there was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which of course we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. Your girls bent on finding out what happened in the palace. Head down the street and ask old Arnold. He was the king's head scribe. Arnold!
Oh, that's, locked.
Arnold. This is a place to hang out. Oh, yes, I'm Arnold. What do you want with me? You'd have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. But if Ala Mhigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fevered mind settled on an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family. A magic, which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. Oh no, Halabali's in battle! The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it's a kindness the monarchy ended with him. Oh no, Halabali nearly died!
It's just fall damage, don't worry.
Happens.
Okay, no, I was in the middle of... Let's go! Honk honk, important people coming through. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we learned? Allow me to begin, then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures and found precisely none. It's just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. What of you, Gobo? Were your investigations any more fruitful? The Mad King cursed his family. Turned them into monsters? What do you mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I'm an old man in Alagiri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison. Said not of accursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could the scribe fellow have been spinning her a yarn, you think? You believe him, Gobo? His fears seemed genuine. He's afraid that does lend credence to the tale, but I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Don't be so hasty. Arnold's antidote may well have told us where the trove's hidden, but ere I share my theory, it was a matter I would clarify. Arenvald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding the treasure? It wasn't all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say my Alamegan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pure-blood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage, and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. In the end, she turned me out on the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then I turned to adventuring, and that road led me to the company of the Scions. I tell you this so you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Arenvald, and I apologize. That can't have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Gobo, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arenvald's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? Can I keep some of the treasure? I like treasure.
Like, whatever loose change falls from the back of the wagon, at least.
And I'd be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's Trove if you're minded to hear it. Fine. I'm gonna get the accessories of healing. Because if I remember correctly, this is a dungeon that has like notes and such, so I think we might want to try running it synced with just 3 so we can read all the notes.
Alright. Sorry, what was the question again?
It wasn't a question, it was a thought.
Oh.
The thought was, because I know there's a dungeon coming up, my thought was we might want to try freeing the dungeon instead of doing a full light party with a rando, so that we can take our time and appreciate it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not? I got my best
Well,
mitigation.
out with it. What's the theory of yours? Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourned to a more suitable location. In that case, in case our rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but certainly a valid concern. Let's reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Seld. Are you driving, Nora?
I wasn't, but okay.
Is time waste a reason not to do it, or is time waste a reason to do it?
As a reason that we're convening in a different location.
I'm sure Alphino has a reason besides wasting our time.
We know too much.
Well, Alphino, is it time wasting? I put on my healer garb, but I still have my 2 swords I'm practicing with. Now forgive me, it was not my intention to draw up proceedings. I simply wish to have the lock in sight while I explain things. Prior to the great flood of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines, and this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the 5th Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war. Yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of Loch Seld. It's my belief that the darkness beneath the palace mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. What are you saying? They're meant to guard the Mad King's trove. Precisely. And as we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume any entrance has been magically concealed. In the old city, will have been magically concealed. It would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Levigans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have certain advantages they did not enjoy. Gobo, would you be so good as to swim down and search for an underwater route to the ruins? While you do, we'll seek out an ensorcelled portal within the palace. I'm gonna do a little prep here. There we go. It's time. I forgot how to dive. That's how.
Look at all this. I think it's salt?
Yeah, all the salt that has encrusted itself on the ruins of the city. Like, this is one of my favorite underwater areas. Seatbelt. Like, oh my gosh, have you been down here and taken a look at it?
Not really. The underwater bits kind of scare me.
So cool. You got, like, the proper city down here. And you can see all the little bits and gubbins, and it's ruined. And you've got, like, here. Oh, I would have sworn I'd have been able to go through those. I guess not. And then as I come through, we have, ooh, snowflakes. How suspicious. Discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Whoa. I mean, this is so cool. Door. Come to a swarm door standing temptingly ajar. Here you found an entrance to the subterranean ruins. Gobo, it's Alphino. We've searched the prison beneath the palace and found a teleportation portal concealed by enchantments. The markings indicate it leads to an underground cavern. What news on your end? Glub 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 glub. And you believe it leads to the ruins? I dare say we'll be able to meet within. Go on and head through the door. By the way, I took the liberty of calling a friend for help. I guarantee she's both defendable and discreet. We'll see you soon. Are we ready?
Yeah.
All the DPS lands on Halabali's shoulders. Good luck. I keep forgetting that we have to target people for my AoE as a astrologian.
Oh.
Don't have to do mage or scholar. You have to do that as astro.
Oh, okay then.
There's more eggs. Ah, they're pulsating. How did I miss? Actually, maybe I. Okay, too late. Okay.
It doesn't reach from one side to the other.
Hey, come back here.
Woohoo! Hello, horsey.
Kelpie.
It's a seahorse.
It's the seahorse.
Oh, okay then. Not what I thought it was gonna do.
Oh, pull! Whoops.
Oops. Oh, yeah. I should probably go down to the other side. Huh. My torpedo. Ow! It kicked me in the face!
Push.
Push.
A treasure. Love treasure. Bum, 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 bum. There's no way we're stopping there, right?
No, You want to keep going? Well, it looks like the way is blocked off.
Yay, I got 3 things that fight.
Whoa. Oh, there's more of them. All right, I'm pulling more. Oh.
See, not a problem. Also, apparently this is not a place with lore. I am sorry.
No worries. Kind of nice just going at this pace, just seeing the sights. Dun, dun, dun.
What? Oh, okay. What the?
Woohoo! Bum, 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 bum. What's over here? Oh, it's over here. Ooh, treasure. This place is cool.
Wonder if I'll see the treasure soon.
The treasure was inside us all along. Microplastics.
Oh no, we don't turn into monsters and fly across this anymore.
Oh, was it different then?
Yeah, you used to turn into monsters and fly across that.
Oh.
I don't know, I can't, you're quiet again. So, I don't know to answer your question. Oh no, I'm heavy. Uh. That I need. Let me see if it's actually better than what I already have. It is not.
Oh boy.
Hey! Oh my god, I want one as a mouse. Oh, there it is. Mapping the realms. Scala!
Bardric Poison Tongue. Ow! Oh! Ooh!
Ah! You're running
Oh, okay.
into my thing.
Sorry, I thought I was the one with it.
Ow, that's me.
Oh, get in front of him. Oh. Behind him. Ow. In front. Da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
So hectic, I love it.
In front. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, look away. In front.
Or just kill it. That was a good fight.
That was a good fight. Oh, hey, it's someone.
We never saw him. This was not a murder. Understood?
Oh. That's right.
Hello, gal with the spear. Hello, gal with spear. Arenvald's gotten stronger, hasn't he? I don't remember you, but I remember you. Something. I think that monster used to be a man. Who told Alpha no? Who told Alpha no?
Huh. Is that the Mad King?
No, the Mad King was killed by the Garleans, like, before the invasion.
No.
Oh, that! Yes, I think that is the Mad King. Got freaking Goku hair.
An odd choice for someone who did not want to stand out. But I guess if you're a tyrannical king, you can just do whatever you want.
Is inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. 5 and 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Yeah, we could, like, take a little and support people, huh? I'm just saying, I want that big vase.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing.
And how are you going to lift that golden statue of a lion?
Yeah, they're gonna have that one. That one's gonna be a pain in the ass. Probably gonna chop it up and turn it into coin.
Imagine if it was just like in your room and you like accidentally dropped something behind it and you can't reach it.
S-O-L. Hi, Jimoldva. When Arenvald asked me to lend my spear, I didn't imagine it'd be such an adventure. Grateful for the chance to be part of it. Gods, what a dark and treacherous trek that was, with abominations waiting for us at every turn. In other words, it was a proper adventure. You have problems, Arenvald, but so do we. Arenvald and I tried to do our fair share, but I fear you ended up bearing the bulk of the burden as usual. You truly led the way with your adventuring prowess, my friend. Aye, without your help, I reckon we'd still be fumbling about in the dark. Glad I called on you. I must say, I'm still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. Well, like how you reeled at the sight of that floating specter, you mean? I wish you could have seen the look on your own face, Alphino. Well, must we dwell on momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's Strove, and that's all that matters. 4,000 gold. 4,000 gold.
Well, that's our share of the thing.
Yeah. That's it. I don't get out of bed for 4,000 gold. All jesting aside, we must tell the people the good news, and I think Elise should be the first. Seconded, she's bound to be delighted. If I'm no longer needed, I shall take my leave. Of course, don't let us keep you. Thanks again, and say hello to the Ma for me. Now then, there's to be a meeting of representatives from across Mhigo, so Elise is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out?
Out of the way, flying dog coming through.
Hey, Elise. Oh, you three look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? I'm glad you asked, Elise, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna like the answer. We found the Mad King's treasure. Property of the city. You're joking. The Mad King's treasure? I thought it was a myth. I've sorted plenty of people, but they didn't have Gobo and Alphino in their party. The credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote it goes towards alleviating the suffering of Alamigo's poor. Gods, if there's as much as you say. Arnfald did not exaggerate, I assure you. We could not hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I've taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you'll assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for. And that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Well, there's one more thing. When the time comes to draw up a plan for distributing the spoils, I'd ask you to consult Alphino. I don't have the head for such details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of gil won't solve everything. I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphino. Of course, I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we got a problem. Deep breaths, tell me what happened. A mob's gathered outside headquarters. They've started making demands. You best come see for yourself.
Don't tell me they heard about the money already.
Step back, all of you!
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Bring her out! Bring her out!
What's going on?
Someone let slip about Fedora.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it! We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down!
Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Aye! And my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a lock!
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
So that's what all the fuss is about.
Roban!
Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo.
Hey, who's this?
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. gnawing pain in your breast. It is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers. I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance, but we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Mhigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles, or one who cast them aside when tried? I say to you, it is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Mhigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
I know you're right. I do. But I can't.
You don't have to. You just need to go home, sit down, cry, and have some patience. When the time comes, we can let him be the executioner. Hello. That's close. Okay, I actually have to. Okay, it just happened to deliver unto us like the perfect scene. My thanks, Raubon. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away.
It was a difficult tide to stem. It was the same rage which brought us to our feet and carried us to victory. But now the war is over and all that unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance.
Aye, it's not just here, with reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to cooperate with Garlands. It starts with insults most often. Then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even thought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, live side by side in peace. Maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun.
Who are these representatives exactly?
Village elders, refugee leaders, and the like. Wouldn't it be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own? So we planned a summit of sorts. We even invited the Anata and the Cairn to participate.
Mhigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Frodola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings.
Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nagu, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated? And everyone who didn't resist? There'd be no one left. Would be no better than Theodoric and Xenos. I don't know if that's the argument you want to be making here. Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Cordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it, anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, aye, unforgivable things, but in some ways she's a victim of circumstances in which she was born. And that's something I can understand. Right, speak with the prison guard when you're ready, and I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her, too. I'll return to my other duties then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Cordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. Don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does. Well, time for a long cutscene, I imagine. We have the commander's permission to enter, then? Yep.
So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you? Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless. There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it.
We need to establish a proper system of the rule of law to establish the validation of the validation and legitimization of violence. Once we've done that, we can call ourselves a state.
I killed your men. I killed my men. And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
That's a lie, and you know it. You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fedora. I see you for what you are.
Come along, Fadola. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right! Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Mhigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
What did that man call us?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whoremother.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Fadola!
Oh no.
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of army.
We're citizens. We have rights.
Ah!
I'm scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive. Traitors! Traitors!
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Frickin' Garleans.
Fadola, please. You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods. What have you done to your face?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time. It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past?
Yeah.
And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they?
God, I love how just horrifying I look in the dark shadows with the little glowy bits.
My eyes especially stand out.
Patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led!
Like, they really did not test these animations with darker skinned characters, and it's so funny sometimes.
The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay! You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
And now I decide what Gobo Bar is. You know why. You saw.
I personally picked because I chose to.
I couldn't decide, so I'm like, you saw. You know.
You
Make
still
her
have
decide.
time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it.
I feel like what I picked means a lot more since I finished, since I did the
Let's go.
Heaven Sword and AR Dark Knight quest.
I probably should have picked the, for those who I can still save one. I think that's probably the most thematic choice. Oh well. Iron Vault? Oh, sorry about that. I let my emotions get the better of me. It's just that she and I are of an age, and we're neither one of us one thing or the other. I can't help but feel like she's my problem to solve. The capacity to experience such visions of the past always seemed to me to be a most desirable talent. I see now it's as much a burden as a blessing.
Especially when you can't decide when to use it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that we solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. Aye, and we found something new to think about too. I don't know about you, Garbo, but these visions only come to me every now and then. From the way Fordola kept wincing, though, I get the feeling she's having them almost all the time. Has a lot of bad memories to deal with. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between one who's born with the Echo and one who's been artificially imbued with it? Well, the Immortal Flames have been scouring the research facility ever since the liberation. There's a chance they might have some answers for us. General Alden's there overseeing the investigation. Let's go pay him a visit, shall we? Oh god, is she seeing all the bad memories of every single person who comes by?
Probably.
Oh, well, we just need to tell people that. Oh my gosh, we can come up here. I'm being distracted, I'm sorry. But we... Can I get back up? No!
Oh, I went too high.
Oh, you can come over here. There's lots of places you can just go. This is great. Hey there, buddy. General Alden's inside. Hi, will you be joining him? Indeed. Hey, Big Bull, where are ya? Ralban, I need you to be my temporary replacement, Big Burly Man. What say ya?
Oh, these aren't shields.
I'm sorry? Oh no, I missed a skip. Research materials. What's not a shield?
Come to the side?
Oh, you mean the corpses?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought they were shields, but they're body bags.
You made me miss what Ralban was saying for that. Now he'll never be my Owl's replacement. What's up here? It's a dude and a thing. So what have you? Can you give me superpowers? Oh, you're not a dude at all. Hi. Hey. Do you want to do some research on the Echo in our off time? She is not interested. Leave this section to me. Apparently we made an agreement on, like, giving up work or something. Hello there, engineer. All the pods are designed to drain the ether of the occupant, save that one right there. Unlike the others, the interior is fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, I couldn't tell you.
Wait, wasn't this where we got to?
No, this is where they kept crying. Well, I do have some experience with etheric stuff. Let's take a look. The device in which trial was held seems more ominous now that I know its purpose. Surrounding cards are marked Supply Subject, and this one bears the label Master Subject. Onward received a request from the Alliance to analyze the devices, and I've been recording everything of interest. Did you notice the labeling? The pods are designed to drain the aether of the occupant, except that one. Unlike the others, it does the things I told you before you looked at it. Tell me. Tell me the information. So many bodies. Every one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show any signs of external injury. What we've been able to determine, they've perished from forceful aether extraction. Such a miserable way to die. They've been stealing aether and jamming it into people. I know little and less of science, so any light you can shed on this facility's operations would be appreciated. Gobo, shall we start with you? They're aethering you. Dunking you in the stuff. Taken in combination with the testimonies of Crow and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with aether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject, in this case Kryle, the patterns of her etheric activity would provide the model on which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they were trying to recreate Kryle's echo. I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Kryle's possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. The soldiers who guard Fordola, many of them lost friends and family to the skulls. And there's a sentry at her door night and day, where she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past. But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it would do to you. You'd never be the same again. Indeed, as you may recall, Isael was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Hraesvelgar's past. Fordola had been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed.
Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, it will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these godforsaken procedures, and Fordola remains our best source of information. Should not be getting her wish. Not yet.
Right.
Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, not if it's feigned.
I understand. Thank you, General. We should leave the flames to it. Let's go. Go looking for answers about the echo and end up getting schooled by Rauban. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lise. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know I couldn't have convinced the mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn.
I wonder what he'll do when everything here's settled. I mean, with his homeland, after going to the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay?
It's a quandary which the countless refugees now face. Continue the life they built in Ul'dah, or start again in the land of their birth. Gobo, a moment. I'm newly returned from Ul'dah with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands you have responsibilities here, but asks you go visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Well, I must away to attend other business. Until next time, my friends. I'm going to show the Sultana my new dragon skin outfits. An audience with the Sultana? Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Yes, we'd all like to know those. Often know, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Gobo. Sultana's a friend. I'll just ask. It's fine. She's not royalty. She's an old buddy from way back in the day, when she used to sneak out of the palace and we'd, like, hang out under the tree. The question of how to put the Mad King's treasures to good use shows no signs of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Arenvald? I'm at your beck and call. And I'll be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down to the ruins and start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, and send Nanamo my regards, Gobo. And ours too, if you please. We'll see you on your return. Nanamo, I haven't seen you and chatted with you since we were accused of your murder. Are you okay, buddy? Friend? Our monk? You're expected, my lady. Please proceed. Nanamo, you like my new outfit?
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy. The liberation of Mhigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ul'dah home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Mhigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Mhigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend.
You understand, Nanamo. We all need a big, burly, platonic dude friend who can be there to be just like a wall in times of trouble.
But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Ul'dah or return to Mhigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears. Might I have your company for a brief adventure?
I haven't gone out with you outside the city walls in like 80 levels. Let's go.
Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Yeah. Same. Oh goodness, what should I wear? Something very simple and straightforward and reliable. What do you think, Gora? It's good to accompany the Sultana on her duties?
Whatever suits you.
Right. So we're to meet at the quicksand.
I changed to something too, but you tore them up!
Listen. The Weavers Guild is right here. Go stop by it. They can get it fixed in like no time, okay?
Alright, fine.
And then I can cut them off you again. I mean, what?
I'm leaving.
Well, aren't you a familiar sight? It's been a while. Perchance you remember Lilra, the merchant's daughter? This is the persona I assumed when I went to venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinary Papa Shan would accompany me, but for this particular outing, I need an advisor, not a minder. And that's why I've requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you've met people from all walks of life in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. But let's be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the gates of Nald. Alrighty. And you will not harm my lady. Oh, you think that you're clever, huh? Get out of here. I had to take care of an old enemy, an ancient threat. Look at this procession of tattered tents. The refugees camp in squalor, the mercy of the elements, and Thanlin's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as is. And unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Ul'dah. 20 years have passed since the fall of Mhigo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls on me. Your hands have been tied, Your Grace, by the syndicates. Yes, my authority is limited. That's an obstacle I must work to overcome. Shall we press on? I'd follow the road to the unholy air. Think I could convince her to murder the syndicate and seize total power?
What?
We might be able to leverage the state to destroy capitalism.
Remember, you're supposed to be inconspicuous.
Fine.
You know, I just realized having a Grand Company chocobo might not be conspicuous.
Yeah, I mean, Especially, I mean, it's a little conspicuous because I'm like Maelstrom, but
I'm Twin Adder. Actually, that's right. I don't have any of the Good Guardian Barding. I don't have the Grand Company Bardings, so.
you're right. Let's fix this. That's a little. That's. Oh, this is fine. This is a red mage barding. It's not. It's not specific to anyone. Or she's all the way over there. Okay. I love how Halabali's like, we have 6 quests until the Four Lords, and we're like, and we will roleplay our quests.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying we have a ways to go.
Nanamo? It was here, in this holy unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanlin when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it's not certain if the incident was a simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. If it was Lord Lorlarito. Raubon once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must crave, but I refused. Even my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the Monetarists, who could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of the citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivete. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I'll not be used as a pawn of the Monetarists' damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You're one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. No. Nanamo, give me the word, and I will put these swords through Lord Lorlarito's belly. I will split him in twain as Raubon did that other guy whose name I've forgotten because he's such a scumbag he doesn't deserve memory.
Teleji Adeleji.
Yes.
I had to find his pet turtle.
We will. Just give me the word. Let's return to Old Da and visit the Colosseum. I got too enthusiastic. She might not be down with the tyranny yet.
You're going to scare your Palico companion with that kind of talk.
My Palico companion knows what he's getting into. Hi. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. But one good thing did come from the ignominious chapter of my life. It was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raubon. The match I'd been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They pitted the Bull of Mhigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinker though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another. And my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raubin to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raubin had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Raubin is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate. And then I had my blade.
No, not again.
Bum, bum, ba, da, 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 bum, bum, ba, da.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Shum. Come on!
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Ul'dah, and so, as tradition dictates, Raubin Uldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Ul'dah!
Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Sean's love for me is that as a grandsire to his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Raubin, with his authority of the syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me.
Oh, hey, silver piece.
We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Azaneth Ossuary. The Thaumaturge's Guild. Let's go. And as usual, I have to stop by and say hi to my old buddies. One moment, Your Grace. Hey, Kukabani. How you doing? As you, Gobo. Fine day for spotophometurgy, is it not? Because I found something great. Check this out, check this out, check this out, check this out. Okay, are you two ready? Are you two ready? Huh? They're not happy with me not bringing a sword in. Nanamo. When the calamity threatened, Raoban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louis Sois would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I've made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessings of Thal, reflect on my choices, and ask myself if I'm fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You're rightly celebrated as a champion because you've led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. Much the same way I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I'm to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I've chosen my path, Gobo. With Mhigo now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already, many displaced Alamegans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate this process, I've made a small contribution, an artisan's school in Rauger's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it'll take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they're to survive, and this time, the Ul'dah Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds, of course, is another question. I do not like either of these options, because I want the Syndicate's blood in the streets. I will not encourage her to talk to the Syndicate. Nothing, If even one of your worldly experiences is a loss, it seems I have no choice but to seek someone more well-versed in monetary matters. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? I am. I had to rub... It's only been a couple weeks since I rubbed lotion into his belly at a spa. But I need to explain... Huh?
Oh, yeah.
I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let's make our way to the landing, and I'll see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. As long as I don't have to rub his abdomen again. While he makes weird noises.
Don't you need all the big burly men you can get?
I'll pass. I've ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. To the Gold Saucer we go. I'm going to be here, I'm going to wear my fanciest outfit. And I'm not going to need a blade. I heard some descriptions, but it doesn't say. I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. where did she end up? In the lounge. Where I can't talk to her because I am not high enough level with this. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, whoops, that's not the right way. I ended up at Leap of Fate.
I believe this is where we're to meet Lord Vanderbilt. Shall we sit while we await his coming?
Woohoo!
My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting.
No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were the kind to make yourself available at such short notice.
When the intrepid Gobblebar and the Sultana herself come calling, there is no more important engagement.
He's wearing trousers today.
I appreciate it. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how to crown my best aid the refugees residing in Thanalin. You're aware, I'm sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you're also aware of how they suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them their suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might be best distributed?
The unusual circumstances of our meeting and Your Grace's choice of companion suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion, so I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Uldar's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea.
You oppose my proposition?
Most emphatically. I agree with Your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Uldar in this arrangement?
Profit? After all you've done for Girabanya's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune.
Forgive me, Your Grace, you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It's a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are an indolent creature by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, we begin to rely on it, to expect it.
No. This is some conservative-ass garbage, Godbert. You're way too rich. What charity have you ever had, huh? What hardship have you ever known? Boy. You're the fucking rich Texan oil baron bragging on about hard work. Do you go out here scrubbing the floors of your fucking casino, huh? Do ya? Do you scrub the oil into your own fucking abs, huh, boy?
Grr. Such Your Grace's intention to foster new resentments but spread goodwill?
Then any support I pledge to refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ul'dah.
Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with returning Alamegans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of their subjects.
You've given me much to ponder, Lord Vanderbilt. Thank you for your candor, and I apologize for Gobbo's rant. Hey.
I should have stayed lost at the Leap of Faith.
I don't approve. Nanamo. Nanamo. That assertion is not true, Nanamo.
Oh dear. Am I having trouble loading? Oh, there we go.
Prophet, the thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivete will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Gobo, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. I don't think that's a good idea. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Outland Trading Company. If you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I do not. I'm using him as an example of why this is a terrible idea. Well, no, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, seeing you'll travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Uldar. A fair journey to you, Gobo, and a swift one, if you please. The Sultana's...
Well, at least I feel fancy.
Must not spin swords. Kagane we go. I know, since Gumi people, no swords. Listen, Hancock, if you exploit the Sultana's goodwill, I will dye this carpet redder than it is. You understand me? Do you understand me? Because I did bring my swords, and I'm not afraid to use them. To what do I owe this pleasure? Are you here on business? Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how to best invest the wealth of Uldar. My dear Gobo, I have you to thank for this recognition, I'm sure. I'm flattered you'd come to me, truly flattered. Well, why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garderobe with gold. I should be happy to arrange the meeting for you, say, at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Gobo, and may your dealings prove fruitful. This trip gets worse and worse. Oh my God.
Sorry, I actually crafted this dress myself. I made sure to reinforce it.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, where's Sultana? I have to share the bad news. I don't like Hancock's advice. Are you sure you want to hear it, and you don't want to do the whole establishing a tyrannical rule of the government? We could seize all of the wealth, force the employment of the population into service of the crown, and make sure that their needs are met through their own action. And we could cut out the middlemen, literally. Gobbo, you're too bloodthirsty. Then we have to go talk to Lolorito. I'm sorry? We have to talk to Lolorito. With Lolorito? Had you agreed to this? Oh, I'm well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I'd hoped to keep the monstrous arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I'm to rule Ul'dah effectively. Or put his head on a pike. Very well. I'll meet with Lolorito. Let's go ahead to the White King Sands and prepare for his company.
Well, you know what they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. By the way, did you know he had a niece who's a weeb?
Yeah, his niece is a weeb. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I've heard many tales, but never had an occasion to visit. To work then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room for ourselves. Urianger out.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help. You have made your point. It is indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I am most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Mhigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Ul'dah and Mhigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
I'm telling you, Nanamo, his wisdom is just exploit the working class and milk them for all they're worth.
Twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Huh, I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Honestly, the saltery. That's an entire industry that's dead and has vast potential for profit. It's vital to the preservation of meat and other items for long-term food stuff, which, considering the intense heat of summer and the necessity for a winter growing season, is going to be vital to ensure that people stay well fed during the summer years. It'll also provide a valuable export for Alamigo. I hate that I have to advise this.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltry and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gill.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well-versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production.
Maybe not all of the ounces of profit. We need to leave some of them there so we don't reduce them to slavery.
The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders, just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
Nanamo, why? You know I don't approve. I fear it'll be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We've piqued his interest and secured his expertise. Thank you, I could not have done it without you. I don't like it. Our course is decided. I'll return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you, I would ask you to convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hex on your return to Alamigo. Understood. My thanks again. Together we've laid the groundwork for an endeavor that promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. And Lolorito especially. Do you remember that he tried to kill you? I don't believe for a moment that it was a fake poisoning. I think he just fucked it up. Be careful, okay? You need not accompany me back to the palace. I'll have Papa Sean arrange an escort. As if he hasn't already organized a search party. Been absent for rather longer than intended. Fine.
Oh, that is a nice suit outside.
Ariel? Alright, you're not from around here. Can't imagine would call you to have a chat with me, but by all means, if you're gonna ask them to ask away. Nothing, I just wanted to hear your voice before I went to deliver some bad news. Yeah. He claims that. He claims that. I don't trust him. Halabali, I don't trust him. At least we're up to something. Gobo, you're back. But Anonymous... Oh, sorry, are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So Raubon says he's going to return to Alda, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know. I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping refugees come home. This plan to revitalize Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Olorito's help is another question. After all that's happened, he's the last person I'd expect her to turn to advice. On a more practical note, at least assuming the interim government elects to accept Olda's proposal, I have one caveat I should like to include. Mhigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ulda to provide the entirety of the capital will gain Lolorito too much control. Thank you, Alphino. In fact, Alphino, why don't we just cut him out entirely and use the funding, huh? We can tell him to hit the bricks, and we can do it as an Alamican industry. Honestly, it's like Kogane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless corrupt here have to do to earn your trust? Yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss the proposal with the Sultry's residents. Whiskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything.
Right away, Commander. You mind coming along? I might need you to fill in the details.
And I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Plus, we all know that Gobbo is prone to communist ranting and attacking things with a sword when Lolorito is involved.
Take me to the Saltery.
I forgot Lolorito was involved in this quest.
Hmm.
I was like, yes, we're gonna go have some adventure and then we'll invest in the Saltery. And I'm like, oh, right. The game needs to make us have to go to Lolorito instead of just... I will not be satisfied until Monitor's blood bathes the streets of Ulda. What?
What manner of mischief brings a young and soul Watt this time?
They want to rebuild the Saltery, Granddad. Gobo, tell them about the deal. Blah, 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 say no. Well, bugger me. I never had the coin in the hands to put the place back how it was.
Sounds like that's about to change. There's one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes to his store. King used to send soldiers to call the buggers. The Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us.
Don't worry, Grandad. We'll take care of that. Commander Hex has been talking about setting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to that if I asked.
I appreciate that, Whisker, my lad. Truly I would. Does that mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours?
Haven't trained an eye, mostly to kill Imperials.
You have some experience hunting monsters. Think you could catch an eye of a few local beasts, teach me how to deal with them?
Okay, I'll do it.
So I'll waste any time then. See you by the lock.
Yeah, Kobo needs an excuse for violence right now.
While you're busy attending to the local fauna, I'll have Master Watt explain to me exactly what's required to restore the soul tree to its former glory. Good hunting. Use the telescope to observe a yabby. Can't we just gut a yabby and tell what's going on? Alright. Right then, I've got a spyglass here you can use. Take a closer look at this pests. Once you got their measure, you tell me what to do and see how well I get on. Okay? Good job. The Yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head is soft and vulnerable. Stab it with your sword. Looks like you found a Yabby. Say hitting the shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Under the head. Blade up through the chin. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then, wish me luck.
Thinking now, I kind of want to study the monster biologies of these creatures, like in the game.
Thanks. As you told me, the Wakekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. Hey, Abby. I feel much better now. Ah, the lovely times of bloodshed. You get one too. I think I can handle the Yabbies now, so why don't we try something different? What else is out there? Well, we've got one of these rock things. It's got eyes. Poke it in the fucking eye. Oh, but how do you defeat one of those? Poke it in the eye. It's got like a thing inside it, and it's gonna go poof. In its head, I'll try and stab it in the eyes then. It's not easy fighting with the Liberator Mhigo watching you every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now.
Any road, we should head back to the Sultanry before Grandaughter starts to worry I'm snapped to pieces and fed to Yabi's hatchlings.
Yes. Yes, we do need to go back to the Sultanry. And I know just how to get there faster. Hello. What are you? Oh, you're like a hunt thing. I can't take you alone. I really want to. There we go. I feel better. Also, oh my god, Viper is so fun.
I was thinking about taking up Reaper.
I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought with them myself after a bit of instruction from Gobo here. Like, once I shared what I learned with the others, should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad, a fine young man you've become, and a fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, heads stuck in the past. So we need to set our sights on the future. Things like getting the Sultanry ready to welcome our lost countrymen. Alphino. Oh, it seems Visker has the Sultanry security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, his vacant buildings could be made into very presentable dwellings.
Message from General Albin. Apologies for the interruption, but the General would speak to you at your earliest convenience.
Oh, don't feel obliged to wait around for my account. I'll remain here and hammer out the finer details with Watt, and act as intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah. You should go.
General Alden asks you wait for him by the main gate into the Alameda Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well.
Alright, to the Alameda Quarter. Wow. Oh goodness, I am not trying to ride my way through here.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal. Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands,
No, it's those
how would
two.
you punish these men?
Chop their heads off, stick them on pikes.
Hear, hear. There is no more fitting sentence for the perpetrators of such a massacre, and that is what
I did give them a second chance, and he wasted it.
In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
You need to go back to Old Da. Nanamo is listening to the Monitorists.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilbert's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't. But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Mhigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Ul'dah and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Good, I know you're sad about it, but seriously, oh my god. She's gonna listen to Lola Rito without you.
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
You have nothing to worry about there. I just had to sit there and listen to the Sultana agree with Lola Rito. She needs you to pull her head out of the, like, abyss of money. Pippin, keep it to yourself and keep your father's side, okay? He seems flustered. Something's amiss. What? I was just on my way to the sultry. It's lucky I saw you. It's longer than I intended. At least you know where I stand. Now that's settled, what's the news are involved? We have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta have arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vira. These are the Kalyana, the ones that summon the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lisa's trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all the native beast tribes. We assumed the Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We'd best go see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Gobo, you've dealt with the Kalyana before. I'll have you at my side. Yeah, I know. Don't kill them, don't kill them. It's easier if we just kill them. beginning to think I have one. I'm beginning to think that just like being a hammer means that I make every problem look like a nail.
How do I put this? It's kind of like when we were hunting those creatures earlier. It's best if you know where to strike rather than just hit it hard.
Yeah, that's for the weak. I'm not weak. I can hit it hard. And then the shell shatters and its blood gets everywhere and it's delicious. Hey!
And that makes a mess!
I'm okay with a mess. Hey! How are y'all doing? Gobo, Raubon, gods, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss. But we did not come here to shed blood. We claim to seek harmony with all who call Girabanya home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome. We cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you truly wish to enter the palace, I must ask you first to surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word it will be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon it's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Why do I have a feeling we just welcomed a viper into our midst? Raubon, that's racist! Raubon! You're not wrong, but that's racist. Don't call the Ananta vipers. Oh, what's in this weapon coffer? It is unequipable to my current job or class. There is no Viper weapon in the eye level 370 copper.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This Yana's elders' intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, Gobo?
The enthralled can't be trusted.
Aye, it's said that once a creature's fallen under the sway of a primal, there's no salvation, and I strongly doubt that Kalyana has suddenly broken free of Lakshmi's will. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the scions?
I insist.
I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan quarter. You can go ahead if you like. My thanks. We'll see you in the palace.
Alrighty. Halavali, I need you up on the walls to shoot anyone who starts escaping. Ura, I'm going to need you to make sure to cover the flanks so that no one can get out. I wish we had Alvric here, but we don't, so we'll have to make do with what we have. Is everyone fine with their jobs?
Where's the flank again?
the side doors. Don't let them out the side doors.
I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm currently fishing.
Gobo, I brought reinforcements. Ironvold told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed it's prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. I'm not familiar with the Kalyana tribe myself, but an LSA's report suggested they shunned contact with other races. Despised it, in fact, even compared to other Atnanta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response from our invitation, much less an envoy. I imagine Lise was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? With the meetings to be held in the throne room, it would seem wise to have eyes inside and outside the palace. Y'shtola and I can stand guard without alongside Halabali. Leaves the three of you to keep watching the proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We shall join General out inside then. Gobo, do you know the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, top of the stairs. Guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. And that's where you'll take up the situation, Ura. With the silence, miss, General Alden left orders for you to be escorted inside. You'll follow me.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabani to help decide the future of Mhigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Expertly done. Lise has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ravenfoot. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kalyana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
hunter. Wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote themselves to our faith.
Okay, we can establish Lakshmi as a state religion.
You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
They already planted the crystals.
Or perhaps the crystals were already there in the first place? Like way before?
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
No, you don't!
The Kalyana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvold to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
Alright, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick. Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Raban, I love you. How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. Oh, damn it, if it's like that, we've already lost. The Warrior of Light at my side. We can do this. What do you think? Use the duty action to dissipate Aether Spheres locked your releases during battle. We warned allowing an ally to be enthralled will result in failure. Alrighty.
No. Oh, there's more! Okay, take them out with vocals, by get them in cross points.
I shall free you from your hate.
Oh god. Oh, there's so many.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
Thank goodness, we needed another one of us.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Let's go. You will not flee my radiance. Lock her down as best we can. The rest of you need to run. Please? We can't run away from this. They need us. Get out of here, Lise. We stand and fight together. Alphino, the envoys are in your care. Surely you don't mean to. Very well, I'll see your guests safely. Fools! They forsake eternal bliss. Let's go. Can't move. She's going after Lisa and Relbon. Not as much as my desire to end you. come on. There we go. Thank you for the LB3, Lise.
Can't we have a peace conference without an incident for once?
Never.
We did it! We beat her!
Is this your first time fighting a god, Arenvald? You get it now, don't you?
What is this?
I'm only going to say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
Seven hells. It's her. The Butcher.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
Well? Well fought, Gobo, Arenval. That was a near thing.
Aye, a stand against the Kalyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. Must have planned this far in advance.
Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... It's all my fault, my stupid mistake.
Nay, lass, we were all caught unawares. We'll take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in the future. You can be sure that lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. Soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kalyana keeping their weapons springs to mind.
A primal servant is betrayed by Azora. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sherlockshmi's influence. Thanks, Ishtola. We'd appreciate the help.
Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Cordola told Duff. What's she been doing there?
I asked her to come.
Well, that explains that then.
Sad, but Ragenford was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Cordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. You say the world in which Cordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as Nala Mhigan I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we'll risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk to them blue in the face if that's what it takes. This is a long and arduous path you've chosen. One well worth walking. Rest assured I'll do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Afino. First step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seems ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started.
I'll see you're not interrupted. Gobo, you and the Scions, stand down. Get some rest. You earned it.
Oh, thank goodness the meeting was going to put me to sleep. This is where Xenos killed himself.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave.
I don't approve. I guess the Sovereign will do what she will.
Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Rabon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Rabon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubarn. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Raubarn. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company of some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Yes, the bull of Mhigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor. And you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Rauban.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised.
I don't approve.
Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Mhigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Pippin, keep Nanamo safe. I will assume father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, in and out of Old Dodge, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured they'll find Tizona's edges sharp in my hands. Good. Nanamo? I've asked enough of you, Gobbo. My only words for you now are those of gratitude. And also, maybe calm it with the bloodshed. A little. Well done.
Seems my road's come full circle. Appreciate the support you showed for my earlier decision, overruled though it was.
Please. I think it's about time I headed back to Rauber's Reach. What's next for all of you? Alise will be eager to hear of recent events, so I'll join you, if you've no objections. And welcome to company. Gobbo, why don't you and your friends come along to the Reach as well, once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others? After completion of this quest, you'll be able to access the palace's rooftop gardens by speaking to the menagerie attendant. I don't know where Halabali is, but I guess we just go to the Reach.
Alright.
I'll be there momentarily.
Momentai. Wait, no, that's Digimon. Indeed. Although it's not yet gambling time.
I should go say hi to LSA when I'm done.
Well, here we are again. Alphino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Thancred and Y'shtola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we're lucky to have our echo-blessed companions nearby this time. We'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kalyana. You can say that again. This whole episode is reminding me just how far apart our kinds still are. Looks like centuries of fear and mistrust can't be washed away in a day. But someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Broodmother's doing. Whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting safety in our allies in the Vera and M tribes first. I plan to have Resistance scouts keep track of the Kalyana's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the Resistance army, out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance's newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Mhigo? We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller, independent groups. When Conrad passed his command on to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Rauger's Reach. He just happened to be serving as Resistance spokesman at the time and needed someone to take over the role when everything was in disarray. But the time's passed. When I speak of the other leaders forming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Raubon as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed. He is in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Mhigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Mhigo blooms.
I do give thanks to the Kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. There, their generosity ended. Without coins or pockets for new attire, we're doomed to look like so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants.
These dango are delicious. Will you have one?
More sweetbreads? I surrendered my blade to secure what few coins we have. It's like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden I shall never know. But I'm alive, and I must return to my master's side. Come, Tsuyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea.
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace.
I don't know why, but I have a strong urge to visit Kugane soon.
I heard the reports. First Joma, then Alamigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded, and that he's already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head regardless. Nay, Lord Xenos lives? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising in rebellion. We must prepare an official and, above all, accurate announcement to quell these pugnacious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains, then. We'll soon put the lie to their claims.
Oh, that is a shaking kind of grip.
Yay! Halabali, does this give us access?
From what I've read, it should.
Where is the quest we can validate? Loud, ow. I don't know why, you're louder than usual. Game is softer.
Me?
Yeah, you're louder than usual.
Huh.
Not quite sure why. For Omega, another striking opportunity. Well, if it's anywhere, it'll be in Kugane.
The wired quest. Hope on the Waves has to be completed, and then we'll get access. So there were 7 of them.
Tidings from the East is the next quest. So we have to do the do next week's MSQ, and then we can do it. I Dream of Shirogane. What is I Dream of Shirogane?
I cannot read.
Mrs. Jean, a moment if you would, I have a favor to ask of you. See, word is that the Lord of Kugane established a new... Oh, it's a residential district! Residential district. Let's go!
Ah, wait for me!
Humble servant, blah blah blah, take us to the residential district. Take us to a ward with vacancies. Ward 3. Tell us plot 14 is available for sale. And then we will see if we have 3 million gil Ba ba ba. That's what we've been wanting, right? Is a plot here.
Where'd you go?
I went to plot 14 in the 3rd Ward. 3 million gil.
Since when did we discuss this?
I thought we previously discussed that we wanted this.
I didn't.
The wards are all almost full. It was back. Well, no, it was before you joined. Back when we were looking at houses. We're like, yes, we all want to go to Kugane, but we can't yet.
Hmm.
And that's why we were supposed to be saving money, and then I kept stealing it for equipment.
Huh.
Do we still want Kugane?
Let's see. Available to 3 companies. Oh, okay. I like our place where we are already.
But have you looked at this view?
Yeah, but also the beach.
Have any of us used the beach?
I think I might have to head out soon.
Albrecht. Where are you to take everyone's? Where are you to take my side for this?
I am in.
Why are you so noisy?
What were you saying? What were you saying, Halabali?
I'm indifferent to where the housing is.
Okay, we have a beach here too.
Then it's settled.
Can we dive under the water here? I don't think we can. See, we have the beach. We have a big beach. We have this little area. I set it to home instead of half price. Dang it. That's fine. Let's go to Limsa. View the money. We'll see what the situation is. Do we have the 3 million?
Unfortunately, PvP is not a good way to make money.
No. And I'm at the stage of crafting training where I'm at a loss. So that's why the question is, do we have it in savings? We do not. So that's going to be the thing. We will discuss with Albert and see if there is wealth that can be spread from his pockets. Because I imagine Ura is not interested in spending the money on account of Ura not approving of the transition.
Nope, I'd rather have things stay where they are right now. Also, I spent all that money on that jacket. That's you tore up.
How much does a bombfish buy or sell for on the market? Less than it sells to the shop. Okay. And then what's your sale price? Okay. Well, then we're not moving to Gargana yet. Rip. Hey there, Tsurubami. Well, okay, let's go back to setting you as home space, Limsa, and then I guess we're done. How long is it till the gambling? It is a very bright and sunny day here. Go! Go forth! Doggo is doggoing. We will end the stream. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to keep putzing around and fiddling with Fisher. Because I do have to do Fisher.
My fishing has been very unsuccessful of recent.
There's a reason I haven't done it. I hate it, but I'm gonna need access to things from fishing to do the crafts, so I need to get that fishing done. Oh well. Farewell, stream. we have enough people? Do we have anyone watching? Not enough to raid. Go forth and do what you will. Fare thee well.